Hi, my name is Oluwakemi Owijayi. I am the president of Beth-Help Foundation. The story behind Beth-Help Foundation is really a personal one for me. It all goes back to my childhood in Nigeria, growing up in a tight-knit community. My parents, despite having a lot of financial struggles, they were determined to give myself and my siblings a good education. My dad, for one, was a primary school teacher. He didn't earn a lot of money, but he had to work extra jobs, extra lessons, late into the night. And my mom also was a petty trader. And they did all of this to ensure that we had a shot at a bright future. Their sacrifices left a really deep impression on me because I had to witness their commitment to our education, even when it was not convenient. This made me realize how vital it is for every child to have that opportunity. And there were lots of kids in my community growing up who were also facing similar challenges. Some of them didn't even have parents to work as hard as our parents did, and that was when I felt the calling to make a difference. So in 2014, I took the plunge and started Beth-Help Foundation. Myself and Omodolapo actually started together, and but we officially got registered in 2016. But the journey began long before that, and our mission is really simple. No child should face the financial hurdles that we did growing up. So through this foundation, we're on a mission to offer financial support, scholarship opportunities, educational resources to vulnerable, underprivileged kids, especially orphans and those from low-income families. We want to empower them with the education and opportunities to break free from secular poverty. How do we identify our children? So at Beth-Help, we have a really structured process for identifying and selecting children who are eligible for assistance. Our goal is to ensure that our resources are directed towards those who absolutely need them the most, and who align also with our organization's mission of supporting underprivileged elders and children, especially those facing financial barriers to education, like in the child edu fund that we organized. So the first thing is the income and financial needs. So we assess the income level of the child's family and guardian, and priorities given to families with really low income. Then orphan status, this is really key. So we put priorities on orphan children who have lost one or both parents. We definitely confirm the status of the child, to ascertain that we're actually giving the help to the right person. Then we also target specific communities. We are most concerned about very low, underserved communities. And of course, to sustain the scholarship that we provide, we ensure that we monitor the educational performance of the children. So we take, most times we put preference for children who are actually doing well, but have all of this data, so they are top on our list. And when there's a long wait list, we usually sift through using the educational, performance to see how we can push that child up the ladder towards getting accepted. Yes, so we also look at the age group. For example, we focus on primary school aged children, extending assistance up to secondary school. Presently, we don't support university or tertiary education. And yes, we look at other documentations, the application package that is submitted to us. We look at, we also engage, we do a lot of community engagement. So when we go to those communities, then we can easily identify, when we go to rural communities, underserved communities, it's easy for us to identify children within those communities who actually need help. And then of course we go there, we do interviews with the parents or the guidance, we do home visits, we assess the living conditions of those kids. And of course, everything we do is transparent. It's a transparent and fair selection process, among our committees that we use to identify the kids that are eligible for our scheme. So apart from, vulnerable, underprivileged children, we're also interested in vulnerable adults too. A lot of these adults don't have any means of income. Some of them don't even have families to help them. And a lot of them live in abject poverty. I've seen it, I've witnessed it around. in all of our outreaches, and it's really, really heartbreaking when you're at that age and you have no hope. You're not strong enough to actually even put in the work. And it's easy for anyone to say, I'm going to work so hard to get there. But if the economic situation in the country where you live does not support it, and you earn so low to just get by, how are you going to save, towards the future? So there's a fundamental problem that needs to be addressed. But while that is ongoing, our mission is to try to salvage the situation as much as we can. So Beth-Help Foundation is more than an organization to me. It's family, it's a commitment to giving back, inspired by the belief that, education, help, charity can actually transform lives. We've seen it happen. And I'm honored to be a part of something, that echoes the impact that my parents had on myself and my siblings, and a chance for a better life for other people. The specific educational resources, okay. To ensure that, to ensure the overall, development of the child in our scheme that will support, beyond, the financial assistance, we offer a range of, educational resources, opportunities, support, alongside, activities that the school provides. Among these are, mentoring and guidance. So we have mentors, we have counselors in our group who reach out to individual students. We actually also have, the Adopt a Kid scheme, where one of the members could adopt one of the kids. And they call, find out what's going on with their school, do mentorship programs for them, talk with them about career goals, opportunities, just get our child to think beyond and outside their community. Because it happened to me. Growing up, I did not know, my day job is, I'm a geophysicist. And growing up, I had no clue what that meant, no idea. Because I lived in a really poor community, and that wasn't, you would mostly want to say, oh, I want to be a trader when you go up, or you want to be a medical doctor. That's for the big shots. But being a geophysicist was totally beyond what I would ever think, because I had no idea, I had no exposure to that until I got out of my community, and I was exposed to some of this. So yeah, back to Beth-Help Foundation. Yeah, so we ensure that the mentorship program, the mentors actually open the kids' eyes, show them, guide them to all the opportunities out there beyond what they can see. And and help them, help them to set goals, help them to plan their academic journeys, review their results with them, and also work out ways to improve, provide guidance generally. So we also do tutoring and extra classes, like I mentioned earlier in the case of Mary. So Mary is not the only one that we had to put in extra classes just to get them up to speed. We had a number of students who had been out of school for a while before we got them in, and to help them to succeed, we had to place them in extra classes, in extra tutoring outside the school, outside their regular school walls, and that has actually made significant improvement. Of course, that meant we had to pay more, but what's the point in paying for tuition if the child is not getting what they need, if they have a lack that they need to fill, if there's a big hole that needs to be filled? So yes, we arrange for tutoring and extra classes, especially for subjects where the child is actually lagging behind. We also offer access to educational materials, like provide textbooks, stationaries, and other educational materials to ensure that the students have the necessary results they need to excel in their studies. There's skill development programs, so this is really key. It's not enough for the child to just learn only in classroom. They also need essential skills, practical skills to help them, be prepared for future careers. So vocational trainings. So some of them, we have them in the pipeline. Like a child who wants to, be a nurse, to have a visit at the hospital and know how, what the role entails, pretty much, and also offer internship programs, like maybe 1 month internship where the child goes there, sees how the nurses work, check the BP and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, also extracurricular activities. We encourage our children to absolutely participate in sports or art or cultural events or poetry or bead making, makeup, tons of things that people do out there that that can help them to discover their hidden talents aside from school. Public speaking, so many things. So a lot of those projects are still run low-key. So a lot of them we've not really we've not done a whole lot of projects on them, but one child at a time we're exposing this, because it's not very convenient for us to just organize all the kids all the time in one spot and do all of this, because they are in different schools. So the mentors are assigned to each child ensures that for the kids within his jurisdiction, then he can organize something for those kids, and then we get to reach all the kids. Yes, and for everything that we do, we get the parents or the guidance involved. We don't do anything, we cannot force them, we cannot do anything except we get the approvals, and active involvement of the guidance in the children's life. And this has actually helped us to get most of our successes. On our Instagram page, you see some videos where the parents have shown their support, appreciation to all that we're doing, like the things that they couldn't do before, now they can do them, because now there's funding for the child, and they can focus all their energy to providing all the things that that is non-educational for the children. Then we also do monitoring and evaluation. So after every time we get their report cards, and then we review it and see areas of improvement. We check it against the previous year. Is the child improving? What's the problem? What happened in the class? Was the teacher changed? Is the child in a class they don't like? We talk with the children and find out what's going on with them. So yeah, and of course, when we find out this, then we can organize, counseling services, and that kind of good stuff. So after doing all of this evaluation, we celebrate the children, we celebrate them for an excellent job, an excellent academic and personal development, and then we do this every time, just to boost their confidence, make them feel better about themselves, and then they loosen up to us more, and they can tell us more things. All of this is to ensure that every child that gets this benefit will grow up to be someone someday that is going to start something like this, bigger than this, to help all the children. It's a kind of it's a trickle effect, so to speak. Success stories. So we have a lot of them. And it's quite inspiring, But one of our earliest admitted students, her name is Mary. When Mary first joined our program, her academic performance was quite poor, and we know that she actually absolutely needs our help. She was very interested in school, but the first 2 terms, our performance was were quite bad. And despite our dedication, like we paid for extra lessons, we encouraged her, she showed the enthusiasm as well, but her grades did not improve. So on further investigation, we found out that our school actually faced a lot of significant challenges because our school was not that good, and she was out of school for a while, so it was hard for her to catch up with the other peers in our class. So she was lost, she was in a limbo, and we identified this point, this issue, and we're able to take a step back, get extra lessons, and change our school, get her in a school that was more inclusive, that understood the gap that she had, and the extra lessons helped to fill in that gap, and of course we got all the approvals and support from our guardian, because the guardian would also assist her in homework when she gets home from school, the extra lessons. So, and with this, the third term, her performance actually significantly improved. She got better, she was more outspoken, she was happier, because she was seeing a lot of changes, and our teachers were quite encouraging. Like, they kept telling her, they kept encouraging her. Anytime she does something that was really good, they would tell her. So it was a really good school. So, and so that was quite remarkable, on our journey, and so far so good. Mary's doing well. It's been 4 years now. She's doing well. She wants to become a medical doctor in the future. She's working really hard towards it. She's really acing all her maths and stuff. So it's, this support has transformed one child. We're not so concerned about reaching everybody. But even if it's just one child who is going to turn something out of this, then we're fulfilled. That's all that matters. Yes, how we communicate with the guidance and parents. Yes, absolutely. Regular communications, we talk to them, meet them, we call the parents, speak with the kids. So we know, we speak with them all the time. We're not all in their faces, so they don't feel like, But yes, we're in good communication with our parents and guidance. So of course, parental involvement. We ensure that they're involved in the educational activities of the kids. We go to the homes, we visit the homes. We are currently working on parental workshops because if they have, if they have something they're doing, they will be able to have a means of livelihood such that they'll be able to support their families. So yeah, that kind of empowerment workshop is what we're currently working on. It's in the pipeline. And of course, the decision making, we don't just make any decision without getting their approvals. If we have to change the school, we get them involved. We don't just make decisions without them. And of course, educational goals, if there's any challenge, they get us up to speed. Yeah, so of course, and also we do kind of needs assessment within the family to identify if there's any other additional support that can help the child to do better at school. We go for it. Oh, challenges. Some of the challenges, we have a number of challenges. Running Beth-Help Foundation has been incredibly rewarding. It's been a rewarding journey, but it's not without its own fair share of challenges. We have a number of them, and number one on the list is financial sustainability, because presently most of our funding and donations have been from family and friends and one-time donors, and we need to maintain a stable, source of funding. So, we're trying to adopt a more diversified funding approach. We're actively seeking grants, funding, individual donations, corporate partnership, name it. We're exploring, we're thinking of exploring other income generating activities, such as, hosting fundraising events, sometime in the future. But presently, financial sustainability is key for us, and also, scalability, as the demand for our services grow, because as I speak, we have 50 students that are waitlist, 50. And so it shows that we're scaling, and those are the ones that I know, those are the ones that have applied. We are not even talking about the ones that I've just mentioned it, that they've not applied. What about the ones that we've not even verified, their status? Like we've not checked, we've not done any interviews, we've not gone to the houses to check that it's actually true what they say, So those that are 50 that are waitlist right now have actually been screened, and they are waitlist because we cannot afford to take them in right now. So we need to scale our operations, and that is a major challenge. To address this, like I mentioned, we are seeking funding outside. We've developed a comprehensive growth strategy. We're working on it. We're trying to fine tune, our plans, our expansion plans, and the timelines. And of course, collaboration with other organizations and with my viewers, and forging partnership with schools. This will significantly help us to, extend our reach and explore more, getting more children that would benefit and, have a go at a better life with quality education. Another challenge is, the selection of our beneficiaries, and the challenge really is ensuring fairness and transparency in the selection. So even though we have a rigorous process in place, to ensure that we're actually selecting those who absolutely need our service, sustaining that information is a key challenge that we're trying to overcome. and that is verifying, like yearly verification of the status of the child. Because we've once had a child whose parents eventually, whose mom eventually moved out, and we drew the child from school, and we had no idea, because she started doing well. We love it. We love it that the parents are doing well. It means that there's an opportunity for another child whose parents are not doing, or who don't even have parents, to benefit. But she didn't tell us, and we made payments to the school as usual, and the school did not bother to tell us that the child was not even in school until the second term, and then we find out that, found out that the child was actually not in school the previous term. Oh, long-term goals. Yeah, this is something that we discuss with our children all the time. So Beth-Help Foundation is committed to nurturing the long-term goals, and aspirations of all our children, all the children that we support. We ensure that aside the immediate education that we provide for them, we also engage them in career aspirations. Like if they want a child who wants to be a lawyer, for instance, well, we'll need to guide that child towards the required path that they need to become a lawyer in the future. So yeah, we do career counseling, like I mentioned earlier. We visit, we visit the kids, and we try to organize a kind of workshop, an internship program where they go to such places, such workplaces, to do some kind of internship to help them understand, have a good idea of what the career path they want to choose. So we're trying to establish that kind of, partnership with local establishments, such that if any of our children is interested, then they can do a kind of internship with them. And of course, we also offer individualized support, like the Adopt a Kid program. So this is not a kind of legal adoption, like where you have that child and the child becomes yours. So this is like supporting that child while the child is still living with their guidance or with their parents. So yes, that is the Adopt a Kid program. So one person, one donor, one individual just comes up and says, oh yeah, I want to adopt a Tony, oh, Anthony, what class are you? So we provide all the information about Anthony to the sponsor, and then the sponsor is involved, is the one who is going to be in charge of getting tuition, ensuring the child is doing well at school, getting a report card, doing mentorship, and of course we're also in the loop. Queen is the one in charge of all of this. She's the three-way kind of person who mediates with the parents, because some of our parents don't actually speak English, so we need someone who can interpret and ensure that everything is smooth running. And of course, mentorship. That mentorship, that's what pretty much. We're also planning doing financial literacy programs for our kids. Still growing, ensure that they are knowledgeable about how to manage finances, savings, budgeting tips, and that kind of stuff. And of course, exposure to activities. So we get them involved in workshops, extracurricular activities, that kind of stuff. And then of course, beyond our scholarship, which for now gets terminated after secondary school, we also plan to support them as they progress through life, and help them ease into the community. And of course, we celebrate their achievements. They are doing excellently, and after all of this, we're planning a kind of alumni network where, we do meetings and conferences of all the alumni under the Beth-Help Foundation. I mean, that's amazing. That's fantastic, to get them to remember their roots, get them to remember where they come from, and also get them to think about giving back, starting something way bigger than this, helping the less privileged, starting a good cause, and not just getting comfortable and forgetting their roots. Because we remembered our roots, that's why we're doing something. If everyone remembers where they're coming from and decides to do something, the world will be a better place. Yes, so the kind of partnerships and collaborations that we're looking for. We're looking for educational institutions to partner with us. That would be amazing, where, if we have kids and we have an institution who is willing to take our kids after secondary school, and the parents don't have to think about where to get money for higher institution. That is amazing. We